Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the end of the world. It's the end of the world again. I'm going to get that t-shirt, my I've survived the end of the world. I'm actually going to start wearing it, I think. Maybe I'll have to make it like a smock that I can just wear over top of everything. I've survived the end of the world. Welcome to the 957th day of January 2020. I don't know about you guys, but this thing with January lasting 4 months long just needs to stop. It just has to come to an end. I can't do this anymore. Christmas was months ago, and I don't know. We're not even at the end of January yet. I can't even fathom it. So, got a bunch of different topics we're going to talk about tonight. A bunch of different topics, but before we get into the topics, I have to put a call out to all the unfuckers out there and everyone who listens to the shows and who are members of the groups, etc. We, as you will know, took off our membership plugin, the $5 a month membership fee for everyone that we had going, which was our money that keeps the websites up and running, that keeps the servers going, etc., etc. When we had all the problems in September with the website plugin, I just said, that's it, fine, forget it. We're going to get rid of the thing, and we're going to go on the honor system and just hope that everyone will make monthly donations, etc., etc. Well, all the money that we had is now gone. We have enough money left in the account to pay for 1 more month of servers. That's it. So, sorry guys, I got to put a call out and say we need people to step up and make some donations on RTS Earth or on Unfuckers Unite. There's the donations button where you can go in, put a donation in. If you don't have PayPal, you should give you the option to pay with a credit card or a debit card if you're in the States, but PayPal's fucked, and sometimes those options just apparently disappear. So if you can't do that and you don't have a PayPal account, send me a message at danny@rts.earth, and we'll try and figure something out. At this point, before we went live, we're even talking about Western Union at this point because some people just don't have PayPal, and I don't blame them because it fucking sucks. So anyways, yes, just got to put that call out. So, before we get started, there are so many distractions running right now. It's insane. And sadly, it seems like a lot of people are falling for the distractions. Left, right, and center. It's like, boom, here's another distraction. Boom, here's another distraction. Boom, here's another distraction. And I'm looking around on social media, and it's like a whole herds of people are running around in circles like they've lost their mind, running this way and then that way, and it's like they must be dizzy from the amount of distractions they're all trying to track. Seriously, like 2020 is going to be the year of the distraction. We've had how many so far? How many major distractions? World War III? Anyone? Do you guys remember that? It was only a couple of weeks ago. World War III? No? It's already gone? Yeah, it's already gone. Okay, and now we've got the coronavirus. Anyone remember that the coronavirus has been around for fucking years? Yeah. There's no pandemic. It's a fucking distraction. It is a 100% distraction to keep people in complete and utter panic. Oh my God, the coronavirus is going to come and give us a cold. Seriously, folks. it's a cold. That's it. This shit in China, you get 1 or 2 videos come out saying, oh my God, millions of people are dying. And everyone loses their shit because apparently they haven't heard of shills and trolls and paid disinformationists.
Hey, why? So you want to tell me why, if you go look at the airplanes, you know, that site where you can see all the planes going all around the world? FlightAware. Why is it that there are planes going in and out of Wuhan?
Exactly.
Like crazy, by the way. Crazy. Not just you.
No. Business as usual. Business as usual.
Yeah, and they're making such a big deal about it, yet all the planes are going in and out. See, that's a big red flag.
I'll leave that up just for a second. I did see this thing before I left. The Americans they're bringing back from China, probably the State Department people and whoever the hell else is over there. They're going to quarantine them at, there's an Air Force base in California, I think, for like 3 weeks or some number like that. I did that before I left this morning.
It's a distraction. And I had someone today, literally, I just looked at them and I was like, saying, oh, but don't you know they just opened a special hospital just for the coronavirus? I'm like, right, says who? Says who? They opened this hospital. And we're talking about China. This is the country that builds fucking ghost cities, entire fucking cities that have never had a person live in them. And you're freaking out because they built a hospital and someone's saying that it's a coronavirus hospital? It is a distraction. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. Oh my God, the whole world is just losing their fucking shit. And they're going to argue that he's a rapist, and they're going to argue this. Who fucking cares? He's a guy. Everyone, calm the fuck down. If he was a sacrifice, if he wasn't a sacrifice, you're never going to know. So you can spend all your time freaking out on social media because some famous person died in a helicopter crash, because like that doesn't happen every other day. I feel bad for all the other people who died in the crash too. It's terrible. It's always a terrible thing when people die in a helicopter crash or a plane crash or anything else. But seriously, they're throwing these distractions at people left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. Stop falling for it. We've got shit going on in the world that's way more fucking important. And you know, I don't say the T word. I don't talk about the fucking T, idiot, very often. But like the shit that's going on with Israel right now and this fucking Trump and his fucking peace accord in Israel. Yeah, if you want to lose your shit about something, maybe people should start losing their shit about the fact that some idiot in the White House, without even negotiating with the Palestinians, is like partitioning off a whole country and everyone's fucking cheering. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Danny, I don't even know. Oh my God. I tried to stay out of all of that as much as possible. But I looked at that map and I am like, are you fucking kidding me? Who? Oh my God. Anybody would be stupid to agree to that. How ridiculous was that map?
Yep.
Oh my God.
You know, and the fact that, again, we're dealing with the mindset that some people are better than others on this, and it just pisses me off. This whole line of thinking, and these people that think they resent. I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, it just goes back down to.
She's speechless.
I mean, I'm actually speechless on this. I don't.
I know, hon.
Know
I hear you.
It infuriates me. This whole thing infuriates me.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
But that Greater Israel program has been in place for 100 years.
I'm just
You
fucking walk away from the
can
Trump
you-
shit. I'm just not even going to
They
talk
can
about
deny
it.
you a mortgage now if you don't support it. You know that?
What was that?
They can deny you a mortgage
In this country.
in the U.S.
I
They
know.
deny you anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
land of the free.
They asked the question. They asked the question.
May
Land
I
of the free.
add a little bit
Yeah,
to
Mercedes, go
the-
ahead.
to the Wuhan situation.
Yeah.
I heard they had demonstrations in Wuhan because of the bad air pollution they had there of different factories, coming from different factories. And you know how much the Chinese government loves those things, no?
Yep.
Therefore, they might have gotten there in trouble because of that. And what we see in those pictures might be something totally different.
Yep.
Those people that fall might be because of something different. First, if they have so bad
Air quality.
air quality, exactly, their immune system is already compromised.
Yep.
So,
Does anyone remember Australia and the storms that were bringing, like, the pneumonia fucking breathing issues all last year? They'd have a storm, and all of a sudden, everyone be careful. You're going that you don't get this. What do they call it in Australia? Come on, what do they call it? It was like they'd have these big storms. They'd be like, oh, they're getting. It was a respiratory distress thing that was going on with people, and we were all going like, really?
Was
It's called
MRSA?
fucking-
Was it MRSA?
No. It was something thunder pneumonia. Exactly. It was like exactly, Joanna. It was like thunder pneumonia or something stupid like that. And we all sat there and went like, really?
That happened in 2013 as well.
Yeah.
Remember? It
So-
came through the dust storms that they were having or something like that. And it was the pneumonia. Exactly. Oh my God. Thanks for bringing that up.
So
Yeah.
what do we know about Wuhan? Well, like, is it another case of
It
they've
is
got
interesting.
massive pollution? Has there been another chemical plant explosion that's perhaps like filled the fucking air with God knows what? Because there's been several major chemical explosions that have happened in China in the last little while too.
exactly. There was one in Wuhan, but in 2015, as far as I remember.
Well, they also have a weapons laboratory there, 35 or 45 kilometers away from that mystery meat market where that stuff's supposed to be. But I mean, I get the idea not to panic, right? But what really, really concerned me was the lockdown of the cities. You know, like the quarantine thing. You know, okay, I have to admit, I saw a lot of fucked up movies in my past, right? Like stuff. So my first thought was, oh shit, they have ghost cities. Shit, they put a whole city on lockdown. What is if they fucking nuke it? You know, just a novel idea for a moment. But what really creeped me out was the quarantine. Just to imagine if that is really real. Imagine you would have to bring 2 liters per every person every day in there because you can't trust the water anymore. But that is impossible. That would be.
Bossy, they did it a month later. Come on.
Yes, I know.
It wasn't like this total shutdown.
And as Dawn just said, if you go on any of the airline maps, like the flight radar maps, you can see the planes are going in and out. So it can't be on quarantine. Not the way they're saying it is. Otherwise, there would be no planes flying there.
Exactly.
But what is interesting is where it is spreading. okay? Because people are always going to go into the panic mode, okay? The pandemic, oh my God, the world is ending, okay? So when people panic, what do? They tend to stay
Stupid.
inside.
Yeah,
And
go big daddy
act
government.
stupid. And
They get
just
stupid.
look where it is supposed, and I'm putting air quotes up, guys, supposedly spreading. Okay, so I'm fascinated just watching this and researching it, because guys, come on,
Yeah, exactly.
you
So
have
here's the
to
thing.
go
So-
through all the propaganda.
Okay, so here's the thing. We are inundated with propaganda right now. So let's take all the propaganda, throw it out the window, right?
Yeah,
Just be
and
like,
see what's really going on.
what it is, how it started, whether there's a quarantine, there isn't a quarantine, whether there is those many, whether there isn't that many, whatever. Take the information for what it is. It's the coronavirus. The coronavirus isn't new. The coronavirus has been around for decades. SARS is caused by the coronavirus. So you remember SARS? Do you remember the big, oh my God, SARS is going to kill us all? Okay. So that was the coronavirus. Did SARS kill us all? No, it did not. Okay? So let's talk health. Let's talk, what can you do? Like any other flu bug, like any other flu virus, and this is what we were talking about before we went live. Certain essential oils kill flu viruses, regardless of what the mainstream wants to say. Eucalyptus oil, essential oil, eucalyptus, good quality. You put it in a diffuser or an essential oil burner. Keep it burning in your house. It will disinfect the air in your house. Oil of oregano wipes out all those viruses. And that's not just hearsay. That's something we've always known. We've always known that oil of oregano will wipe out viruses. If you're really, really concerned, you can, if you work at a public place, get a water bottle and put half water, half white vinegar, and put about, if you've got a 100 ml bottle, say put about 30 drops of oil of oregano in there, shake it up, spray it down on your counters, wipe your counters down. If you've got phones that work, you don't want anyone touching your phone because, so wipe it down with stuff. Oil of oregano and white vinegar will wipe out all those viruses. Okay? So let's look at it. It is a flu. It is just a flu. The vast majority of people who get the flu get sick and they get better. The information we know is the coronavirus. The worst people it is for are those who are older age people who already have pre-existing medical conditions. i.e. they've already got a heart problem. They've already got a lung problem. They've got emphysema. They've got a number of diseases. That is who it affects the most. The average healthy person going to get sick, they're going to feel like ass, and then they're going to get better. That is the way viruses work. If someone is extremely immunocompromised, they're on chemotherapy and they've got zero immune system, yeah, you know what? It's getting any kind of flu is really damn serious. But that's not the average person. So, like I've said, if you are sick and you have the bronchial chest, heavy cough, etc., the old towel, get the pot of hot water, a couple of drops of oil of oregano, a couple of drops of eucalyptus oil, close your eyes, towel over your head, and breathe in the steam. Black seed oil. Black seed oil is my, as everyone knows, because I talk about it all the time, it's my number one go-to. Sore throat, respiratory, bronchial, anything like that, swig back the black seed oil, it knocks it out. Okay, you can take oil of oregano internally. You can take eucalyptus oil internally, regardless of what they tell you. I take a tablespoon of black seed oil, a couple drops of oil of oregano, a couple of drops of eucalyptus oil, mix it all up in a shot glass with juice and shoot that shit back. Tastes nasty. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to taste terrible.
The other thing you can do is in the morning when you get up, cut you a little lemon and make, put some lemon water, down that water in the morning, because it will jumpstart your immune system.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a huge amount of shit that you can do.
Diffuser, got to be careful with if you have animals. It's the only thing I have to say about that.
You're cutting out really badly, Dawn. Your internet is kind of sketchy tonight, which is usually not a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming you said about essential oil and animals. Oil of oregano and eucalyptus oil is absolutely fine for cats and dogs. You're not going to have a problem with your cats and dogs.
Just talking about diffusers.
Yeah, if they're in a diffuser.
I'm just talking about the. Yeah, well, now diffusers you got to be a little careful because it does affect cats. Yes, it does.
Depends on the essential oil you're using. It depends. Well, if you put it in a place where a cat's going to get their face into it, first of all, it's cold, so it's not going to burn them. Second of all, I'm sorry, that's like use a brain cell, put your diffuser in a place where the cat can't get to it. Like same thing with your children, right?
Yeah,
you don't put your diffuser where your children can get to it.
You don't own a Bubba. You don't own some of the acrobatic cats I got.
Well, darling, like I said, build a cage around it, whatever you got to do.
I got 7 foot cats, Danny.
Put it up high and put a cage around it then.
Dawn, just put it in a cat kennel, okay? Because it can, there's enough holes in that. I'm saying put the diffuser in a cat kennel, okay? Or even one of those wire cages.
I've got a diffuser.
Yeah,
even
just put it in
if
there.
you have a pet carrier.
Something really high.
You put it in a pet carrier and then just put it inside, close the door, then they can't get to it.
Yeah, and it keeps them far enough away.
I've got a little one. I've got a little puppy one, so that'll work.
That'll work.
That'll work.
It's just about being smart,
and
right?
You can put and you can thieves oil in that, right?
Thieves oil is another one.
Oil.
Thieves oil is another there's a reason why thieves oil was invented. And that was during the plague, when it actually did kill a shit ton of people, right? And it works. So essential oils work really, really well. And like I said, you can make yourself your own spray cleaner. You can make yourself your own that you can use on surfaces, just vinegar with essential oils in it. I'm always cautious I tell people, be careful with the lemon essential oil. Is very, very good for the flu, but you've got to be very cautious with lemon essential oil because if it touches your skin direct, it can cause phototoxic reactions. So that's why I always say, like, I do use it in a spray bottle. I just make sure that it's really well diluted so that when it's shaken up, even if it gets on your skin, it's not going to cause a problem. Yeah, and you have to educate yourself on what you can use for essential oils around your cats and dogs. Like oil of oregano and eucalyptus oil can be used around cats and dogs. It's not a problem. Lemon essential oil can be used around cats and dogs. Not a problem. There's a lot of fear porn about essential oils and pets that is extremely unwarranted. I have read some of the most ridiculous articles talking about pets and essential oils that were fucking wrong, just dead outright wrong, and that I've actually emailed the people going like, are you fucking retarded? Where did you get your information from? Because the information you're putting out is completely wrong. So unfortunately, this is the problem. When we go researching stuff, you have to be able to research. You have to be discerning, right? And you have to be able to do the research yourself as well. As in, you can't just take someone's word for it. Someone's got an article saying, oh, cats are allergic to pick an oil. Lemon oil was one of the ones that I'd heard. And I'm like, it's not true. Go do the research yourself. And you can find veterinary research articles on essential oils. These are the kinds of things that get put in their food sometimes. So it's not a problem.
Besides, I heard it is a distraction because a scientist spilled the beans a few weeks just before this all started, that he found a cure for cancer, and for almost all cancer stuff, from lung to bones and etc. And it is connected to the T cells.
Mm-hmm.
So something, I heard this, that it might be a distraction to let this information disappear.
Yep. This is what I say. There's a ton of things to be distracted from at the moment. The financial shit is one of the major ones. The financial shit that's going on globally, Brexit. Isn't it? But doesn't anyone else find it interesting that all of a sudden Brexit went through like that? Do we have the documentation? Do we know what they signed off on? Because it's like it signed off on British Parliament, and the Queen signed it off like the next day, and now the EU Parliament has just signed it off in a week. So what was in the negotiation? What box finally got ticked? What box finally got ticked that they all went, yeah, okay, we'll go through with Brexit? No one's talking about that. Okay, we've got the financial stuff. And there are mutterings again that Brexit could trigger the big fucking financial collapse. Like I said, when you know that the euro is actually based on the pound sterling, and that the City of London isn't beholden to England or the EU, what's actually going on here? What's actually going on in the background? So, right? Now, the other thing is of course, they're all going on about vaccines for the coronavirus, right? They're going to put it with my biggest laugh. I'm sorry. We're going to segue into this a little bit. Johnson & Johnson makes a statement saying, whoa, we could make a coronavirus vaccine. Like, you people can't even make baby powder that doesn't kill people with cancer, and you think we're going to trust you with a fucking vaccine? Are you shitting me?
That is not tested?
Anyways, so you have all these vaccine manufacturers. Now, the other thing I keep telling people, every single time there's a financial catastrophe just waiting in the wings, there's always a pandemic and there's always a vaccine that follows, because they set derivatives on the vaccines and they leverage them. And that is how they make more imaginary money to keep their system going. Am I shocked that they've decided they're going to put out another vaccine right now? Oh my God, because we've got a pandemic, everyone's going to be freaking out about this coronavirus. No, they're fucking broke. They have no money left in the banks. They have none. So yeah, they're going to make another bunch of vaccines that they can derivatize up the wazoo so that they can make some more pretend funny money to keep their system going a little longer.
But imagine it this time as a big-ass heist. Back then, they could only leverage the money from one country, right? Like, oh my God, you guys have this flu right now. Here, have the vaccine here. But I have a feeling they're going to try it this time on the global level.
But they did that with the H1N1. That's exactly what they did with H1N1.
Yeah, but that flopped, right? I mean,
no, it didn't. Do you know how much they made?
Yeah, they bought
how much money they made?
Yes, the governments bought it, but not the private people. Over here in Germany, it was that ridiculous case that they said, yeah, we got flu shots for everyone, but we got the special one, right? Like, we got a different one. So everyone get their flu shots, and people got really immediately suspicious about this, you know?
Yep. Oh, I remember. But it didn't matter. They sold the flu shots to every government. They sold them. Billions and billions of flu shots got sold because the World Health Organization and the UN pushed every country into buying all this H1N1 pandemic flu shot shit. Who owns the patent for H1N1? Donald Rumsfeld. What did they do with all that money? It was all derivatized, and it was flushed back into the system to resupport the system again. So this is the exact same. They're trying to pull off the exact same thing again. Note, they tried to do the Ebola thing again, didn't they? And no one was buying it. No one was buying it because it was too exotic. It was too exotic. The public didn't buy it. They made jokes out of it. It became like meme central, like let's take the piss out of fucking Ebola again. So they had to come up with something that hits closer to home. They've already run the measles shit. They've run the measles shit all last year. They can't keep pushing it because too many people have caught on. And once you've vaccinated everyone, you can't really sell them a second vaccine. They're not going to buy it. So you have to come up with a new one. Enter coronavirus. Boom. Here we go. Let's go. So this is the thing. Just like everything else, when we're talking about our health, wash your hands with soap and water. The number one way to prevent germs and viruses spreading, wash your hands with soap and water.
Hey, Danny, I put on a post in UU, and this was about the stupid virus. But I was like, in the US, one thing we have going for us is that the FDA allows products that'll kill people. So we already have the stuff that will kill viruses because it'll kill anything. Yeah, I put a can of Lysol spray, there. I mean, seriously, in the US, come on, we're lucky FDA is so ridiculous. Yeah, because we have all these products that not only kill us, will kill anything on the planet.
Maybe
every bacteria, you are dead.
Maybe glyphosate becomes handy after all, right?
Exactly.
So
it was funny.
That's it. Deb, you know what I used to do for hand sanitizer? I used to go, you can buy the bottles of like pure aloe vera gel. And back in the 90s, it was everywhere. You could buy it fucking everywhere. And you can still get it around. I used to get a little squeeze bottle, fill it with aloe vera gel, and I used to put a couple of drops of tea tree, and I don't use tea tree anymore, and I'll get into that in a second, but eucalyptus, a few essential oils into it, mix it all up in the bottle, and then if I had to disinfect my hands, squirt a bit out, rub it on, away you go, disinfected hands. Tea tree oil, I stay away from tea tree oil 100% now. I refuse to use it. The reason why is because it has been so mass produced now that it's very, very difficult to get really good quality tea tree oil, number one. Number two, tea tree oil was put in so many products for so many fucking years. Shampoo, hand cream, hand sanitizer, hair gel, body lotion, fucking tea tree oil, cleaners for your fucking clean your bathtub. I mean, you name it, tea tree oil was in everything. Anything that you overuse, your body and the bugs overcome it, and it stops working. So tea tree oil 30 years ago, you could use, and it would, if you had a skin infection, you could use tea tree oil and it would work like a hot damn. Now it's not the same anymore. And it's because the quality is not very good anymore. I mean, unless you live in Australia and you know who it is who's distilling the essential oil. And the fact that it's been so overused, it's like antibiotics. We have massively overused antibiotics. Therefore, a lot of antibiotics don't work for a lot of people anymore. Well, tea tree oil is kind of the same. We've mass overused it for so many decades that it now no longer just doesn't have the same effect anymore. So I personally stay completely clear of tea tree oil. I have a bottle of it. I rarely use it. Clove oil is brilliant, Nancy. Clove oil is really, really brilliant. It's highly disinfectant. More importantly, the reason you use clove oil with teeth is because it numbs. Clove oil gets rid of pain on contact. So I always keep a bottle of clove oil and dried, if you're desperate, even just dried ground cloves will also work. It numbs pain, the pain down a lot. Clove oil is in thieves oil. It's one of the things that's in thieves oil, along with cinnamon and lemon and all kinds of other stuff. So I always say, like, I mean, really, you have to rotate what you use with any regularity. You can't, if you always use the same essential oils over and over and over again, over time, they will stop working for you. So it's really, really good to become aware of rotating through your essential oils so you're not always using the same ones all the time. Yeah, Deb, I used to put clove oil in my toothpaste. It was like how you made sensitive teeth toothpaste. When I used to make toothpaste, I put a little clove oil on that. Yeah, and like I said, clove oil is highly disinfectant. It was antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. So, I mean, it really, really does good stuff on that one. You got to watch about garlic. You guys got to be really, really careful with garlic. Garlic used to be. Unfortunately, the vast majority of garlic that people buy now is GMO, and it comes from seed stock that's come out of China. And it has very little medicinal value left. If you're buying the garlic cloves, you know, the big heads of garlic that are like this big, it's all from China seed stock. The vast majority of it. It might be grown in Spain. It might be grown in California, but the original garlic stuff where it's coming from is China. It's become so highly processed, it's ridiculous. And it's really hard to find, yes, exactly, Stephanie, non-GMO garlic. If you can go to the store and buy like the ones that are a pain in the ass to peel, but you know, the ones where like the head is like yay big and each clove is maybe the size of your baby finger, that's the good garlic. If you can get fresh garlic. Now, something you can add is you can grow garlic sprouts really, really easily, and they're super yummy. Super, 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 super yummy. So, I mean, if you've got a windowsill somewhere that you can grow your own fresh garlic and just cut off your sprouts, and you can use them with just like chives, they're really, really yum. But yeah, I'm very, very leery about a lot of the stuff. Unfortunately, that's the problem, is finding good quality stuff. So finding good quality garlic, finding good quality ginger, finding good quality cinnamon. These are things that have become so popular that unfortunately they get mass produced. And as soon as they start mass producing them, your quality goes down. Yeah.
Doesn't leeks have the same medicinal value as garlic?
Yeah, to a lesser extent, yes.
You could just double up on leeks, though.
You can. It depends on the breed of leeks, right? This is the thing that I've learned here. So, for example, I have my whole family trained here. We get local garlic, and we'll get the garlic, and they look like green onions. Well, it's just like getting a little bunch of green onions, except that the skin around the very bulb has got a purplish color to it. Those are phenomenal. And that's when I know it's locally grown here. It's not the genetically modified, all this crap. This is the old school garlic. But you've gotta finding the good quality is always the trick, right? Why we have to grow our own in a lot of ways. We just grow our own. That's one of my reasons why I need fucking land, so I can start growing my own fucking shit. It is hard, and you got to shop around. I mean, this is one of those things, like you can get rosemary is one of the ones. It's been so hybridized now that any rosemary you buy in Europe or in off the markets in North America has been very, very hybridized. It does not have the oomph that rosemary usually has, which is why I love my rosemary that I used to get in Morocco, because it was heirloom. It was just grew wild on the mountains. Never been touched, never been crossbred with anything. And you taste it. Even when you cook with it, the taste is like in your mouth. That is really hard to find. And that's what we get back to, like I always talk about, growing your own seed stock and growing your own stuff. That's what I keep saying. You've got to, unfortunately, when you can't trust anyone else to grow it for you, you've got to do it yourself, right?
Hey, did you watch that video with the guy that went through, all the temperature changes? I think you said you were going to watch it. You're interested in it. Someone posted it in the Unfuckers. I watched it last night, where he was talking about how China's got all the records for the last time major changes happened on the planet.
Yeah.
So they went around
and they can look
buying
at the
up all
temperature stuff.
areas.
Yeah. Yep.
That was profound. That guy really has it going on. You ought to interview
The David Devine, you're talking about David Devine video. And I'm not all the way through it. I'm only about halfway through it. Yeah, he's got some really great info. I don't necessarily completely agree with his conclusions, but he's got really, really great information, because he did pull up like things like the temperature records that show that when we go through these cyclical shifts, some places get hotter, some places get colder. And it's never everything goes cold and everything goes hot. It just shifts around.
And they said they're leveraging the hell out of that with the climate thing.
Oh, exactly.
They're riding that wave.
Yep.
But the way he explained it, I had never heard it like that before.
Yeah, he really does a good job in that video of explaining it very nice, simply, concisely, showing the patterns, like literally just looking at the various patterns, looking at the solar patterns, looking at the temperature patterns, etc. So, I mean, this is the one thing that I've said many, many times. We know this is cyclical. We know that, like I said, in Roman times, they used to grow grapes in Scotland and have tropical fruit that grew in the south of England. Okay, because it was a warm period. It was a really, really warm period. You know what? The world's not come to an end. It didn't. The ice caps didn't melt. There wasn't a Titanic flood, et cetera, et cetera. It's just the way it is. It's cyclical.
Well, Mercedes just asked the question, why are they buying in Africa? What do they know? Well, they know the rains are coming back. They know the deserts are now bleeding. They know where the water's going to be.
Exactly.
See, somebody did their
because
research.
They keep good records. That's the one thing exactly. The Chinese are like the master record keepers. They know, and they don't share their information with fucking anyone. But they know, they have all the records. So exactly, if they're buying land in the desert, it's because they fucking know that everything's going to shift again. The Sahara in Morocco was underwater. It was underwater. It was part of the sea. That's why they have the ammonites there that are just the most incredible fucking ammonites. Some of them are like fucking this freaking big seashell ammonite that are fossilized. Because it was under the sea. Because these things shift. Right? So, I mean, that's just trying to catch up with everything everyone's saying here. Yeah, I mean, this is just it. Like, there's all this shifting stuff happens, and you know me, I'm always a big one who says be prepared. I'm always talk about being prepared and prepping and being aware of your surroundings, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not about cataclysmic events that are going to devastate the world like a 3-mile high wave that's going to wash over the whole planet. That's bullshit. In my opinion. But the climate's continuously changing, and we have to be able to go with the flow, so to speak, and be aware and be able to change with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's logical. Think about it. The sun is not always shining the same. If it is a fusion reactor in the sky, right? There can be differences. And also keep in mind the Earth has a wobble, right? Like over so and so many thousand years, you have that little wobble in the axis, right?
Yep.
So there you have also a natural occurring cyclical thing where things just shift and change. Why do we have nomadic people that move from season to season or from time to time to change the area where they're located? Because other places are now blooming and the place where they were isn't so good anymore,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
we have that constant change, and that is
Yep.
actually what keeps us humans alive and keeps us evolving, right? Like because
Migratory.
we have to adapt, right?
Yep.
Did anybody catch the Pope? I meant to say this the other day, and I don't know where I saw it because I've watched too many things, but he actually said that over 50% of the planet was still in belief. He used those fucking words, y'all.
In belief?
In belief.
As in they believe religion?
Well, yeah, the way I interpreted was, there's a lot of us that are in the knowing. We walk in that knowing, and then you got the belief, which is the programs. Doesn't matter what it is. So he said that. Because over 50% of the planet is still in belief.
Still tied to the religious programming. Well, that means 50% of us aren't, though, which is nice.
Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So I'm going to get off topic. So I want to talk about us going to England when we're in England. Hi, Jack.
Yeah. Did you get that?
We had some.
That's my son.
That's Gail's son there. He's a troublemaker too. I tell ya, he's a troublemaker.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I have proof. I played the board games I saw. So
Say night, Jack. You don't know shit.
So when we were in England, we had some wild fucking shit happen. Wild fucking shit happen.
Right.
And I was only on my phone, right? So we all know Danny's technology is not very. She's stupid when it comes to using this shit. Computer, no problem. This shit. So needless to say, I didn't get to post very often while I was away. But I put a couple of posts up saying, what the fuck, folks? What the hell just happened? So I'm going to start off. I'm taking on a little adventure of us going to England. So we got there Friday night, quite late. Stayed up ridiculously late, chatting and laughing, as you can imagine. And on Saturday, we were in just south of Bristol in Weston-super-Mare. So Gail decides to take us for a drive. And she's going to take us to the town of Cheddar, which if you are ever in England, you have to visit the town of Cheddar. Oh my fucking God, I want to live there. It's like fairy tale land. It's like they have pubs for dogs. I shit you not.
It's a bakery.
Well, there was a bakery
for
for dogs, and it was all set up for dogs, and they make doggy treats, and you go in with your dogs, and Dawn, this is how you know. I joked about this, and I said, joking, not joking, very serious. You know it's a civilized country when you can walk into the pub with your fucking dog and sit down and have a goddamn fucking pint of beer and dinner with the dog, and no one bats a fucking eye that you've brought your dog into the pub. There were fucking dogs everywhere in the pubs. It was awesome. Anyways, I digress. So we're going to Cheddar, which takes us on this. We're going over the Mendips, which is, I'm not gonna say they're mountains. Let's just say they're big hills. BC girl, right? Sorry, they're not really mountains. So you're going over the Mendips, and it's beautiful, and you're looking out the window, and oh, it's just lovely. Oh, it's just so wonderful. It's beautiful. Now, I will say this before we get. before we even left for England, there was a feeling. And it wasn't just me. Anne could feel it. There were other people in the Unfuckers group who were talking about, and it started on the Thursday. So let me look at dates here so I can get this straight, make sure I get my dates straight. So it started Wednesday, Thursday, the 15th, 16th of January. It was a feeling in the pit of your stomach. And I likened it to like adrenaline. When you get that adrenaline rush, and after the adrenaline's over, you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Some people said it felt like anxiety. Some people felt like it was like almost like you've had way too much fucking coffee, and your stomach is like, if you put one more drop of coffee in me, I swear to cow, you are dead. But that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Anne and I both messaged Friday morning before we got on the plane. Both of us had this feeling in our stomach was going on. So Saturday morning we get up, we're gonna go to Cheddar, and I've already got that feeling in my stomach. It had never left. It's been there anyway, but you're just kind of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna ignore. I drank. You can ask the girls; they will attest to this. I drank almost no coffee while I was in England. I had maybe 2 cups a day, maybe, because my stomach was like, it was that bad, the feeling in my stomach. So Gail, who's a practical joker and thinks she's very, very, very funny, says, oh, I'm just going to take you down this road here. You're going to like this. And it's called the Cheddar Gorge. And it's pretty incredible. Like, same thing. We go down this huge, deep gorge, and there's like cliffs everywhere. It's gorgeous. It's the whole bit. So she pulls over to this side area, and I have to set this whole up because she pulls over to the side area, and we park the car, and we're going to get out of the car. We're going to feel what this is like. We're just, oh, yeah. And I'm the first one out of the car. And I get up out of the car, and I'm all like, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I stand up and went, holy fuck. And I started going over, and I grabbed the hood of the car, like literally white knuckled, grabbed the hood of the car, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So smart ass, the blue person there, is sitting in her seat in the driver's side, laughing, going, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. And then she gets out of the car, and she almost falls right over. And she's like all of a sudden gone from ha 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 to what the fuck? Never felt it like this before.
Not that strong.
So my girls have gotten out of the car. Anne is still in the front seat of the car. And I literally call into Anne. I'm like,
out.
Anne, be very careful when you get out of the car. And I mean really, 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 really careful when you get out of the car. Anne gets out, and basically, Anne, I don't even know that you actually got out of the car properly. I think you just stood there in the crook of the door and just held on to the roof of the car and the door. I think that was pretty much all you did, didn't you?
Yeah. I just rocked.
And just rocked. Now,
I haven't stopped rocking.
Okay. You guys know I talk about this kind of energetic shit all the time, and I talk about experience. We talk about the experiences that we've had when the world starts to fall sideways, etc. I have never in my life ever experienced anything like this before. I'm going to get up because I can't even do this justice. As I stood there, yes, my lovely outfit, thank you. I literally, if I let go of the car, I started doing this. Like I was being pushed. I could not stand upright. I could not stand upright without holding onto something. And if I turned and faced the one cliff wall, the vertigo was so overwhelming, it was like being pushed. It was like, I'm just going to fall over to my knees. It literally felt like it wanted to put you on your knees. It was that powerful, whatever it fucking was. So after we had a good giggle, Gail, you posted the video of me doing that, standing there in the middle. Just sit. I finally kind of got my sea legs, so to speak, and Gail posted a video of me in the gorge. And I'm just standing like this going, what the fuck is going on? What is this?
It was like being on one of those escalators in the airport, wasn't it? Where you're moving a lot. It really bizarre.
I said to Nick, when people talk about gravity waves in physics, that is what I imagine a gravity wave would feel like. Like literally gravity all of a sudden just started going like this and just taking you with it. And there was nothing you could do. It was insane. We get back in the car, sitting there going, okay, I need
Quinlan
to sit down.
got ill.
And then cold. That was it. Quinlan got brutally cold. I got brutally cold. And it was like an instant, like all of a sudden my body was cold right through to my bones. Quinlan went and got like just completely pale. She started shaking. I was, okay, we got to get in the car. Let's go back to Cheddar. We're going to go to the pub and go get food. And I said, okay, no, we need food. We need food, like not just like grab a snack, but like actual grounding, get some food into us, proper meal. And we went back to the town. We sat down at the little fish and chip shop and sat down. No. I have hypoglycemia. I know all about low blood sugar. Low blood sugar ain't got nothing on this. This is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And it literally,
and it happened to all three of us at the same time.
Yeah, and Gail and I, and then Quinlan as well. But Quinlan was laughing until it kind of hit her. But we could barely.
She fell asleep, didn't she?
That Kira passed out in the car.
Out.
The moment we got back into the car, Kira literally went like this and went, and unconscious, like out. And Kira doesn't do that. So we went and we got some food. I could barely eat. Like you force the food down. And that was the other thing. The whole time we were in England, it was really hard to eat. Like with the thing that I had going on with my stomach, it was very, very difficult to get myself to eat properly. So I kind of ate, and then we went off to the house. And we had a good laugh about it. Like I said, Gail's got the video footage. It's quite humorous. The next day we had the Unfuckers gathering in the UK, which was lovely. We had a really, really good time. We were there from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 6 o'clock at night, and the time just went like that. We had amazing conversations, and everyone was just back and forth and mingling and having a good time. We get back to the house. And the big plan is the next day, we're going to Glastonbury. Now, the other thing that was going on while we were there, for Ann and I both, was we were in a lot of physical pain. Our lower back, across the hips, a lot of physical pain, as in stupid amounts. Knees, hips, my shoulder. Ann was hobbling along. I was hobbling along. After we finished having the gathering at the pub Sunday night, we got back to the house again. We ended up sitting up playing a ridiculous board game until some ludicrous time at night, and laughing and talking. Get up Monday morning. We're going to go to Glastonbury. First of all, Gail and I had to go run around, do a whole pile of like meetings and government shit and all that. We ran around all morning, did all that crazy stuff. And all the way through this, it's still this kind of really woozy feeling. Like that woozy feeling, well, it died down once we left the gorge. It didn't go away. It was kind of still there on the edges. So we get in the car in the afternoon, we go drive to Glastonbury, which I have been looking forward to hugely. Glastonbury's been on my bucket list since I was 14 years old. dying to get there. And I'm not going to get heavily into Glastonbury in the discussion, but I'm going to just say it was a real disappointment. There was some strange energy when we went to the Abbey, we went to the ruins. There was a strange energy, almost an emptiness of energy, as in all the shit that given the historical stuff that you're told has happened and how things played out, none of the historical record felt right. Like, it all felt like it was all a pile of shit, like made up stories. It felt very, very, I don't know. The area felt very, very strange. So we left the Abbey and we went walking down the street. And you can imagine it's Glastonbury. There's freaking witches shops and there's crystal shops and there's jewelry shops and there's all this stuff. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. And we went into what is one of the oldest pubs, I guess, in England. And it's 1500s, 1400s, that pub. And the original pub.
Oh, the George.
The George. And it's an inn pub, and it's been around since, I think, the 1400s. In existence, never, like, as in continuously. And we thought, well, let's go in. And, how often do you get to go into a building that's been standing there been a pub since 1400s, right? Walked in. Oh, it felt nasty. Nasty. Like, literally, we walked in, walked to the edge of the bar, and we're like, yeah, no, don't like it in here. And we all turned around and walked right back out again. There was an energy that was not nice. There was a lot of real, Anne said it, like false love and light energy. Fake. It had this, but in undertones under that, there was a lot of real heavy black magic energy. Like, there was a couple of shops that I walked by and literally it was like, whoa, that's just not going in there. So we got back to the car. And by the time we did that, I was done. I was physically done. I was in so much physical pain. My back hurt so bad that I could barely put one foot in front of the other. And I was exhausted. Like, that overwhelming, I felt so completely physically exhausted, like I had been drained. And Gail went over to what she thought was an information booth. So we wanted to find out about going up to the Tor. And there was no way any of us were going to be able to walk up the Tor, at least not Anne and I. There was no way we could physically have made the trek up. What was that building? What was the name of it? It was like the information.
It was a Gnostic church, wasn't it?
Was that it? And agnostic temple.
Gnostic.
Gnostic
library.
Gnostic library or something?
I thought it was an information centre. So I went over to go and have a look at the bus details. And as I walked in, and bearing in mind, I go to Glastonbury about 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And never have I experienced this before. Walking into that building, even this, it smelt like death in there. And I just wanted to turn around and walk straight back out again, but they gave me leaflets with the information, told me, no, it runs from April to September. And I walked out of there with a face like, oh my God, what was that? And I was going to, just go in there, just go and feel what's in there.
And Anne and I were like, nope, not going in. You can't make us.
I've never felt that creeped out.
Sounds like some of the entities haven't left since the 1400s.
It was, but I've gone past that building so many times, never been in it. And yeah, there was something not right about that day.
Yep, that whole day was by the time we got back through and Kira passed out again in the car, got in the car, sat down, just went, and she was out like a light. We got back to the flat. And literally, like, Anne and I were done. Like, we were done. So much, like, physical pain in your body. Couldn't move, could barely walk, couldn't sit. It was unbelievable. So that was the point when we got back there, and it's like all of a sudden I felt so ill. I mean, just overwhelmingly so exhausted and ill. And then I got sick that night. And I got sick and I ended up with a fever. And with the fever is, when I get a fever, I get a lot of bad body pain anyway. And it's because I've had dengue fever several times in the past. So whenever I get a fever, as soon as my body temperature goes up, my body starts to hurt my joints really, really bad. So literally the next day, Tuesday, I didn't get off the couch. Did I? I don't think I even got off the couch.
No, I went, you and Anne stayed there and I took the girls out, didn't I, with Boo?
Yep. You took the girls out shopping because I felt so bad. They desperately wanted to go do some shopping, and Mummy was like, I'm too sick to even get off the couch. I can't move. And it wasn't like a coughing sick. It wasn't like it was just a fever and intense body pain, like unbelievable amounts of body pain. And literally, I was laid out on the couch all day, Monday night, all day Tuesday. I slept for about 2 hours in the afternoon. Couldn't move. Literally couldn't move.
Danny, I want to ask you this. You guys, you and your daughters went through the airport through the radiation, what are they called? The
scanners.
The scanners. No, I don't do the scanners.
No,
okay, so you didn't go through them at all?
Nope, I don't do them.
Because
and I can tell you the story about what happened on our way out when I declined to go through them. It was quite funny, actually.
What is weird is I got that same feeling when I went to DC. It's a beautiful city, guys. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. But there's this repressive energy. But when I went through that damn scanner, which you're going to have to tell me how you get away with not going through them. When I was going back home, I don't know what happened, but oh my God, I started declining in the plane going home. And then once I got home, I was so sick and one of my teeth broke. Not horizontally, vertically, in half. So it's like, so yeah, tell me how you get away with.
You opt out. You just say, I opt out. And you got to go through the full pat down and they do the wand over you, the metal detector wand. And then they took all my suitcases apart, unpacked everything, dusted for explosives. Dusted me for explosives and the suitcase. It was quite humorous.
And Gail, I've got a question for you. You said that you go there all the time, right? Have you ever had that feeling before?
No. Where we stopped in the gorge, it's a very, to me, that's a very powerful area anyway. But so I was just reading now, and it said about since we were all together, it was more powerful. Val.
Yeah.
There was something totally different about my experience at Glastonbury. Well, we were looking at it in a different way. I normally go with my daughter, and I go to the goddess temple and I meditate there for a little while, and I go for peace, and maybe get the odd item. But this was something completely different, different. And it's a shame because it's the only time I've had a bad experience at Glastonbury, and I will never look at that building in the same way again. I might even go in there again to see whether or not it's the same as what it
Energy.
was that day.
No, that was the thing. I asked everyone in the Unfuck. I went back on Saturday after we did the gorge, and I put a post in Unfuckers Unite saying, "Okay, anyone else having problems standing upright today? Anyone else having a problem?" And it was overwhelming. Like there was like 53 comments that came back of people going, "I feel it, the churning in the stomach." Everyone talking about the churning feeling in the stomach, whether they defined it as like heartburn. Some people said anxiety. Some people said adrenaline. Some people, like everyone had a different way of talking about it. Everyone talked about problems with their stomach. Everyone talked about people who talking about being dizzy, the high-pitched noises in their ears being off the charts. There was something.
Hey, can I jump in and just add something, the piece to the puzzle?
Yeah.
For the point of view, I wasn't aware of any of this because I've been sick. I haven't followed anything. But on Saturday, the Saturday you're talking about, my regular routine, I go into the kitchen and I turn on my AM FM radio to listen to traffic and weather. And I turn the AM frequency on, and it was just static, like static you get in the background sometimes on your AM frequency you get during a thunderstorm. So I checked the FM band and it was fine. So I thought, okay, there's obviously something happening in the atmosphere. The problem was the entire AM radio band was gone. So I didn't think anything of it because I just thought, okay, maybe the AM, maybe the transistor in the radio is gone, in the receiver in the radio, right? I checked it later on during the day to make sure. And then back on Sunday, on the afternoon, I turned the radio on and I had forgotten to switch it back from AM to FM and the radio was fine. So on Saturday, on the AM frequency, something was disturbing the ionosphere, so much so that an AM frequency couldn't propagate through the entire day.
That's wow.
Because we were, yeah, because we were actually talking about the magnetic feeling that we were getting
at the gorge on Saturday.
Yeah, at the gorge, and that's one of the things that we checked, wasn't it? When we got back, we actually got onto it straight away, I think, and had a look at.
Okay, I didn't even think to check the magnetics. I literally wasn't thinking beyond my own little household, right? Oh, my radio's gone, I'll have to get a new one. And then when it was perfectly normal on Sunday, so since then, I'm getting pulses on the radio at regular intervals, and then it'll stop. And I thought, well, is there someone around me that's got a Wi-Fi signal that's interfering? So I'm trying to keep an eye on it, okay, guys?
Or a short band?
Or short band or something, because, and I tried to time the pulses. The problem with the pulses is they're not equal. So that tells me it's not a square wave frequency pulsed signal, right? Because if it was a pure pulse signal, it would come in at a regular interval. I'll be listening to the radio and it'll go bzzz, and then they'll start talking again. And then, so I'm trying to time it and it's not. So it's about every minute to minute. So it could
be something natural then, something natural.
Yes.
That's just like, the waves or whatever that are dissipating and that are cutting it out.
And not that it added much to your mystery.
Well, I got to add another piece to this because that was on the physical. So Monday afternoon, we get back to the flat. I pick up my phone, go to turn on my phone. Okay, now, all you old timers, you guys remember with DDoS? When you had to fire up your computer and you were in DOS? My phone started doing that shit. Like it was doing all this printout shit like in DOS. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I, of course, give my phone to Gail because she knows phones and I don't. I'm like, Gail, what the fuck is that? And she's like,
that's a day.
No. Then it starts making tones.
It was checking the microphone.
It was like
it had a ticker tape coming up saying checking the microphone. Then it was checking, and each time it printed it out, it was a different tone. And I've never seen that on a phone ever, even when it glitches.
Then it starts up, and the date is January 1st, 2009 at 1:01 p.m.
It's almost like master reset itself.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what we said. Okay,
That's
well,
what-
2009 is probably when the software for this phone was made. Okay, fine. The next day, hold on, I've got to mute. We got a couple of people here.
It's me. It's me.
The next day, Anne fires up her MacBook. And what was it with yours, Anne? It was the
It was the
sleep
same,
screen.
wasn't it?
Yeah, usually when it comes back from sleep, there's kind of a grayed out. The desktop is sort of, grayed out, and you just put in your password and off it goes. But this time it had like, when you open a computer for the very first time, certainly with a Mac, you get this, you get stuff to do with Mac. It was Mac Airbook, blum, 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 blum. Never seen that before. I've had that Airbook for, I don't know, 2.5 years now, I suppose. That never seen that apart from the original. When
the first time you opened it up.
It stopped doing that now, by the way. It did it for a day or so when we were in England. It stopped it now. It's back to itself.
And every time Gail would get back home and she'd go and open her phone, she'd have no battery left in her phone.
Like 13% or something stupid like that. Yeah.
3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, she'd get back to the thought and go, what the hell? My phone is dead. Like,
Gail, was it always 13? Was it 13 all the time? Yeah.
It was around like
that you
15, 13, because it flashes up when it reaches 15%. It flashes up the warning to plug it in, and I can remember thinking a couple of times, 13%. Yeah, at least twice it was 13%.
That's interesting. That's interesting to me for a personal reason. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, but it sounds like you guys got hit with spyware, because spyware will drain your battery. Especially
no, darling, I'm sorry, this was not technology. This was not technology. This was not spyware. This was not, we got hit with some ray or whatever. Something crazy insane was going on energetically. And because it wasn't just us. Like I said, across UnFuckers, everyone was talking about on Monday, the same thing. We got back from Glastonbury. I put a post up. How's everyone feeling? It was the same thing. There was a whole bunch of people talking about their guts were in knots. They had digestive problems, diarrhea. They had the feelings of that they were getting sick.
Oh, and Jack came over.
And Jack came over. And on Saturday, Jack came over that Saturday night. And the first thing he said was, I got the anxiety,
doom,
impending doom. That's what he said.
And he sorted out his insurance because he was sure that something was going to happen.
Yep. And that was everyone I spoke to. Everyone that I spoke to. I mean, I private messaged a bunch of people to say, hey, what are you getting right now? And that was overwhelming from everyone. There was this feeling, adrenaline feeling, something was coming, something was happening, something was about to happen. And then we had all these events take place while we were boom, 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 boom. And the moment that Gail dropped us off at the airport, literally the moment she dropped us off at the airport, she got sick. Now, here's the question about sick, right? Your black seed oil, there you go. No one else has gotten sick. Neither of my girls got sick. If it was a flu that I had, none of the girls got it. No one, Anne didn't get it. No one else here in my house has gotten it since I came home, and I was still sick when I got home. I was still sick. So my question is, was it a virus, or was it literally like my battery got drained so fucking low that I had a fever response that came up with it? Like, as in something energetically took place, and that was the response to it, the physical response. I don't know. I have no idea. But it was absolutely crazy. We were there for 5 days, and every day there was just all kinds of crazy shit that went on. And same thing, weird Mandela effect stuff.
Your glasses.
Shh, don't make my glasses and my fucking glasses that kept
Hey,
disappearing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I think that as living souls, we're noticed when we go anywhere.
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
I'm going to agree with Dawn because it sounds like you guys were targeted. And you know what? We're all a family here. And we can sense when other people are being targeted, things like that. So as an empath, it is not preposterous to theorize that everybody else could have been feeling you guys being targeted.
I agree. I feel personally that we got hit at the gorge, and that completely made us vulnerable. I think that really depleted us. But whatever happened, I know that because you were both feeling the anticipation before you got here. But I do believe that whatever happened at the gorge made us quite susceptible to that pain and that discomfort that we felt after that. But yeah, I agree with Dawn and Penny.
Well, Deb just said about the shivering. Now, that was interesting because Nick is an empath. And he's very, very, very sensitive to energies. And when the energy goes loop-de-loop-de-loop-de, or emotional shit is flying around, Nick will shake. He will start to shake. And it's like the worst body shivers you've ever seen. His whole body shakes so hard. And I literally have to go chest to chest with him, and I'll just fill him full of energy, like just basically put my shield over top of him to batten down the hatches and ground him out to get it to stop. That happened to me on the Saturday, first time ever. I've never experienced that before. But I literally started the shaking, and I couldn't stop shaking. And it's not like you get shivers like this. No, it's like this. It's like your hands are going like this. Like your whole body shakes violently almost. It was unbelievable. And that happened several times. It happened on Monday in Glastonbury in the car. And when I was standing outside the car and I started to shake outside the car and I said, I'm cold. So I got into the car. Gail had blankets in the car. It was awesome. So Quinlan and I were all bundled up with blankets wrapped around us. It was fucking cold. It was like -2 degrees below zero. I haven't experienced -2 below zero in like 6 years. It was cold.
There's a couple of things I want to say to you on this. Y'all might have, as a group of you guys, you've been together before. You may have some history there.
There is definitely, there is definitely not even a question. We kind of have a running joke about the three of us when we get together.
So your DNA got triggered a little bit, but also too, how do I even phrase that? I hate it when I think of something and I don't know how to say it. When the act of coming together, because we're like bright lights in the darkness. We can't help it. It's just who we are. And it would be interesting to know maybe what was playing out in that area at any point in time, because how everything happens at the same time. So
exactly.
Caught up.
That was my question.
That was exactly what Danny was working on. Yeah,
I was working on, and I never got back to it. I was like, what happened here in the men dips? What happened here in this gorge? There's something that's happened in this gorge. And it was like we're feeling it because time is not linear, right? So it's like there was, and like that's what someone brought up about portal energy, etc. And that was that kind of this feeling of like we stepped into something, like, and yeah, it was wild. It was crazy, crazy.
That feeling of being, you literally felt like you were being moved, pushed, pulled, sucked. I can't explain the feeling, but you really felt that you were in some sort of vortex.
Yeah, there was an energy pushing you, and it was a palpable, physical thing. It wasn't like, you know, we have those things we talk about. Well, you kind of feel like you tip sideways, you get a little bit of vertigo. No. This was literally, if I relaxed my body and stood there, I started falling sideways. You were being pushed, physically pushed.
What's the name of the gorge? And can anybody do
Cheddar Gorge?
We need to do some research on that area.
Yeah, and has any major battles ever taken place there?
Oh, yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Because you guys are all, you know, very sensitive. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, empathically.
Like, I'm a clear
so
I would have been.
But think about it, if you stepped into something like that, into this big zone where mass carnage is taking place, right? And so you step in there, and that energy is still there, and it jumps on you and could affect you through.
Penny, I'm not joking when I say it felt like what I would call a gravitational wave. It was magnetic. Time
was nothing there.
Exactly. That's interesting. That's interesting, because time and gravitational waves, how do you bend time? Gravitational waves.
Exactly. So you guys could have almost stepped right into it, okay? You guys have an open enough mind. You could have literally, oh my God, stepped through that, because time's not linear, so I'm not going to say the past, okay? Because the past could actually be the future. You guys, we have been so lied to, we don't know.
Okay,
anyway,
y'all, I got something here. It says that Cheddar Caves are Britain's oldest complete, where Britain's oldest complete human skeleton was found, estimated to be over 9,000 years old, from the era 12,000 to 13,000 years ago. The caves were
there any battles?
Hold on, just wait, Penny.
The caves were produced by the activity of an underground river.
Interesting.
And let's see here. Let's see. Doesn't really say.
And interesting, though, is that when you talk about King Arthur legend, and if you want to get off woo, when you talk about the King Arthur legends, that is the central point of it. We're talking about Glastonbury. We're talking about the Mendips. That is where
Glastonbury's only about 25 minutes away.
Exactly. That area is the whole land of King Arthur.
Think about it, though, guys. You could have been hit. Yeah, you guys could have been hit with that whole era. Oh my God. This is wow. To think about that energy and everything, because we're seeing so many abnormalities happening around us now. And to think that you guys stood that close to where...
I'd like to go back. I actually want to go back. I want to go back and go through it again.
Yeah, there was only a thin veil because you guys weren't expecting it. Next time, make sure you bring your armor with you and break through that veil, because, oh my God, that would be, oh my God, so cool.
So they call him Cheddar Gorge Man, but that's the oldest skeleton. That's, and then you talk about King Arthur. So there's definitely got to be something up with this spot.
And the books that I've been reading, and I've been joking with Anne about this since December. I'm Rand. I have my tablet, and of course, you guys know my library. My ebook library is like I've got like 5,000 books in my ebook library. So when I decide to read something, I have the choices of anything that I can read. And at the end of November, I had finished reading all of Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. And I literally was like, I need a new series to read. Open my tablet, start going, yeah, that's what I'm going to read. I haven't read that book in years. And Jack White's The Skystone series, which is all about King Arthur. And I started reading, and I was engrossed. When I read the first book, and the first book in that series, I've probably read it about 4 or 5 times, and it is one of my all-time most favorite books. At one point, Nick was like, are you going to put that book down? Or like, can I have any of your attention? Because I was literally engrossed. Like every spare minute, I was fucking reading because I was so absorbed into the book. And I read the first 4 books in the series, which I had already read before, but I hadn't read the last 4 books in the series. I've never read them before. I'm still reading them. I'm on the second last book now. And it's all about that entire area of England. It's all about the time of around 400 AD. And it all takes place in that area. And I was the same thing. Like, and then we just decide we're going to Bristol. And so I started making all these connections and going, oh, isn't that just interesting that I just so happen to be reading this book right now and I'm completely engrossed in the history of the book. Another piece to throw on the table.
If you break the veil, you better get your ass back here. Understand?
I don't know. I might want to stay in King Arthur's times instead. No, not really. No, not really. No, I've done enough history to know that 400 AD was not a time or place that a woman wanted to live in.
Hey, haven't y'all heard the story that if you're really close to one of your doppelgangers, you get physically ill?
Yeah.
So what if you guys were alive back then too, in the same spot?
We were the 3 witches in the cheddar
That's
cave.
right. We were the 3 witches in the cave, stirring the good double bubble, toil and trouble.
That is an interesting theory, Dawn, and you might be onto something there.
I hear you can get physically ill if you're that close to a doppelganger or your own, another spark of what you are.
Interesting.
It's like you're repelling.
I'll explain why I know these 2 so well.
Any deja vu?
Oh, another one of me.
Did you have any deja vu, guys? And I don't mean the little deja vu that we grew up with.
No, not really. No, not that. I'm not joking when I say I have only been back home for a week, and it feels like the trip was a month ago already. Like it already feels like it's been a month since I've been back.
Yeah, but Val said
so
it
I
really
can't.
good.
I can't remember anything. I mean, we had lots of weird. I mean, besides the shit that we talked about, we had lots of weird little things happen the whole time we were there. Like I said, glasses going missing.
Did you see what Val wrote?
Hold on. Where's Val?
I think she might have nailed it right there.
Alternative reality crossing paths.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I know nothing, Jon Snow. I know nothing.
Too bad y'all didn't have any gadgets, to measure, energy.
I know.
And all that.
That's one of the reasons why I kind of would like to go back and be there. Like Gail, you'd have to get your team together.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good idea. We're looking for a venue. Yeah, and we could go to that spot.
Make sure you video it, guys. Make sure to video and record it.
That's a blinding idea.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Hold on, I'm just trying to
It doesn't
see
have
if
to
I
be the
can
whole
find.
team. I can just get a small team together.
I'm trying to find something on my computer here, guys. Just give me a second. No, not that, not that, not that. No, not that. Okay. I know I have the stupid download of, I swear I have that video that you posted. Oh, if I have to scroll back, this will take forever. Hold on, give me a second here. It must be down here in the.
While you're looking for it, Danny, I looked back on the video of the guy I follow, which is kind of the guy that kind of explained mainstream science for everyone. And he posted on January 22nd, so that was like the Tuesday after you were there. That's when he posted about strange gravitational waves being detected from the general Orion Betelgeuse region hit Earth.
Yes.
It's around that time when you were there too.
Yeah.
Also, so add that to the mix of other things that you've done. It's just one ingredient.
Yep, that was another piece of it. I remember that. Yes, I did actually read about that the day after we got back.
Yeah.
So, considering the other stuff. Huh?
What Anne pulled up a load of graphs of measurements. I can't remember what you pulled up, Anne.
And didn't you say like the Schrodinger's cat crew? The same day that we got back from Cheddar Gorge, you said Schrodinger's cat had posted and said, "Look, what the fuck?" I can't remember what it was.
I think they were going through the same sort of physical stuff. I read across a lot of different groups, I suppose you could say, just to see what's common from various viewpoints, and also because I need to know when people ring me up and ask for help. I need to know, is it just them, or are a lot of people going through this at the same time? So yeah, I can't remember. Were there other graphs I pulled up? I can't even remember. At this point.
I still have all that, but the gist of it is that according to them, we've had a lot of timeline shifts, and I've been saying this shit. I got in the car the other day or 2 days ago, and I was like, something felt different, and I went to the post office like I always do, and I used my credit card, and I signed my full name this time, and I never fucking do that. And as I did it, I kind of stopped and went, what am I doing? And it's these moments where you go, whoa, okay. And then I get in the car, and I have a charger for my phone. I have one in both my cars. The charger didn't fit my phone anymore. And then the last thing that happened to me is, and then the last thing that happened to me was the heater in my car no longer works. And you just get that feeling like, wait a minute.
It's just coincidence, Dawn.
But you see how
it's just coincidence, Dawn.
You see how that shit just flows right under your nose. And if you're not sensitive enough to it to catch yourself, it just happens.
Yep. No, I know. Here, guys, I found the video. I'm going to share. Oh, wait. Turn that off. I got to stop the share now. I got to do it again. Share with computer sound. I can't remember what is said on this at all. Okay, can you guys see that?
It's just gone to my.
Can you see it? Okay, so this is me standing. This is after I'd been standing outside the car at Cheddar Gorge for a few minutes. I had finally decided I would let go of the car. Yeah, kind of going. Okay, just.
The tree growing sideways.
Can you walk? I don't know if I can even walk right now. Like literally, there's an energy. Like it's in my ears. Like my ears are doing this. Wow. Oh. I can do this. So yeah, there we go. So I'm glad I found the video. That's me stumbling around in Cheddar Gorge.
There's faces in those rocks. There is a whole bunch of fucking faces in those rocks.
Really?
You
I'm gonna
guys
have to
just
go take a
watching
closer
that,
look.
just watching that, I got a pain in my right frontal lobe. It was weird, and yeah, kind of a queasy stomach. The noise was weird. What was with that noise?
I picked up on the fact that it's like a window realm in there, and that there were a lot of beings that were looking at you guys.
Well, it was crazy. That's all I have to say. But I want to go back. Like I want to go back to go through it all over again. And like, but I need Gail to like bring her whole team with her with like all the equipment and take all the meter readings, et cetera, et cetera.
You need to charge up some crystals, charge up a big, each have your own personal crystal, charge that thing up so it'll enhance your space. And y'all all do it together, you know how that goes. And then, because each crystal will work off each other. So y'all enhance that whole field around you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Black
too. Make
tourmaline.
sure. Yeah, make
Bring
sure
that
You
too.
only need.
That's what's in my.
Yeah, I've got a black
pendant,
tourmaline.
That's in
Yeah, I've got
your
a pendant
pendant.
with
and
black
like tiger's eye
Everybody
for protection.
needs to have. Everybody needs to have a different, like one black tourmaline, one. Everybody needs to have a stone that enhances another stone.
Yeah, I got my
To
shungite.
really bring it full in. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my crazy trip to England. And since I've come back, I've been so tired, like just tired. Like I went to bed, no word of a lie, I went to bed at 11 o'clock last night. I said to Nick, I'm going to bed. And he looked at me and was like, it's not even 11 o'clock. I'm like, I know, I'm done. I'm just, and I went to bed. I read for like 10 minutes, turned out the light, and I was out, and I slept until 8 o'clock in the morning. I haven't been to bed before midnight. I can't even tell you the last time I went to bed before midnight. Like, no idea. Not a clue. But that's what I've been. I literally, right up until a half an hour before we went live, I was so exhausted. I was like, holy shit.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that stays up late like that. My family gives me shit.
I'm up
for
till
that.
2 a.m. almost every night. I'm up until 2 o'clock in the morning almost every single night.
And you know what? I'm not sleeping.
Really?
Yeah, but
You
I'm
guys
not
also have
sleeping
that
more
sleep
than
stuff?
anybody else. I just my hours differently to sleep, but my family
That's
like
me too. That's me too.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys have also that thing with the sleeplessness, do you have in the morning also the weird thing you're not really tired when you're getting up even after like 2 or 3 hours sleep? Like you're just
It depends.
there.
It depends. Right? It depends.
More recently, that's how I've been feeling, where I've been awake and thinking, God, I've only had about 2.5 hours sleep. How the fuck am I going to get through the day?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Feel awake.
Exactly. I don't have to crash at all. You know what I mean? Like normally if I had just that short sleep, like, I don't know, at 12 o'clock or at noon, I would have such a crash. Literally, I would have to chuck gallons of Coke or, I don't know, coffee into me or tea to, make it till 8 evening.
Hey, Danny, you remember when I told you you was getting up early for the astrology show and then I was going to do that class?
Yeah.
Well, Dawn cross-eyed about 30 minutes into that class after we did a meditation with our, looking upward with our eyes closed. It put me into a state of bliss and I passed out.
Ouch for the count.
I was gone. I had to watch the replay.
Well, it's so funny because Gail doesn't sleep, right? Gail is our resident insomniac. And while Ann and I were there, she slept like fucking slept. Like Saturday night, she passed out on the couch and I turned around to the girls that are in the living room and we're just sitting there and all of a sudden I turn around and Gail is like out cold on the couch. I'm like, girls, And she was. That doesn't happen for Gail. But apparently you slept very well.
That was weird. Yeah. You lot were feeling like shit, and I was like, yeah, I feel fine.
She did all her sleeping for us.
You can come over again.
And I'm going to. There we go. I don't know if Anne's going to want to come over again after that, though. I don't know.
No.
So, did you get to go see the house and everything?
No.
I'm joking, Gail. I'll be over again. I will. But I'll go to the tour the next time.
How about
we'll take painkillers before we go to the gorge.
We do the same thing, but in the Carpathian Mountains.
Yeah. Well, that is the next trip, isn't it? Right, Fred?
Yeah, because it's not far from Bucharest. We can do it even as a day trip. It's 2-hour car ride. It's either stay overnight or, and you know exactly where I would go with you guys. Would be that thing called the Sphinx that everybody's talking a lot of bullshitting also about. Let's go sniff it for ourselves.
I'd be totally into that. Totally into that, Fred.
Hey, those mountains are like renowned for. I mean, that'd be a huge deal for y'all.
There is a lot. I mean, energetically, you feel it. There's something. The bullshit told about it.
They found those rooms in there that control those control rooms.
They don't know. See, that's the thing, John. They don't know because that's all based on the story of one guy. So we don't know. It's this one guy and only one guy that wrote a book, not on his real name, but that would be understandable. And that's it. That's the whole. But when you walk up there, and the whole area is filled with. By the way, there's a lot of caves around there also. Mm-hmm. It's a very very charged energetically. It is charged anyway. So there is something. Is that something that akin to what that guy said? We don't know. There was American military activity there that was not NATO drills. Anyway, they wouldn't hold NATO drills. They're pretty steep mountains already. Where that is located is already, kind of a bit of an altitude, and it's steep-ish. It's not where you go have your. And I had some friends photograph American Army helicopters, just right there, right at the bottom of the Sphinx. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And in 2010, I'm just going to drop that here and leave it there. In 2010, I don't know if you guys some of you remember if you were following some of the weird things happening. There were 2 Israeli helicopters flying off right in the Carpathian Mountains, which begs to question what the fuck was the Israeli army doing with fucking our country, Romania?
No
so again, that was. If you Google it, it's still on Google. 2 of them crashed. They crashed. Their instruments, whatever happened, it just went wonky, and both helicopters crashed. Israelis, they all died. Exactly in that region, and I cross-checked with a friend that actually, they have a little house there, and they were there. He saw them fly over. And there were enough witnesses so they couldn't cover it up. So if you Google it, there are articles. It could be that there might be only articles in Romanian language left, but it's translatable. 2010 Carpathians. Exactly, I'll type the name of the mountains. It's exactly that area, the Buceg Mountains. It's incredible. Which are a smaller area within the Carpathian arc that goes through Romania, closer to Bucharest. Really, really bizarre shit. So there's really bizarre shit over there. They're after something. They're looking for something. What? I don't know. We should go sniff it out.
I heard when your government found it, they wanted, to open it up. That they were very. I guess whoever was running y'all's country was pretty open to it, and then of course the U.S. stepped in and shut that shit down, and so.
That could be that part could be. It sounds like something that could absolutely happen. Absolutely. They would, because it was, it was in the 90s, in the beginning of all that, and in the 90s, everybody was very, oh, now we're all open and transparent, we're done with communism, yada yada yada. So it's very possible. It's entirely possible, especially if they didn't really know what they were talking about. You know what I mean? You got your whatever politician that has no fucking clue anyway, who's kind of going, okay, I'm maybe making a name for myself here. Let's open up that whatever it is. I don't know. People are talking about it. Looks good. It's gonna make my name famous.
Looks good. It'll give me some fame.
So
we can make money from it somehow.
And no, Zach, it's not Stargate, but who knows? Could be similar. We'll check it out.
We'll get over there. We'll get over there. Definitely one of these days. Definitely. Well, darlings, I'm gonna say we're done for tonight. I have not put up a movie poll yet for this week. Fuck. Okay, so I need to do that. Movie poll for this week. I will get it put up. I'll try and do it right now as soon as we hang up here. And yeah, shit's just weird. Shit's
Can
just
we
weird
watch
everywhere.
Constantine? Hey, can we watch Constantine?
I love the movie Constantine.
Let's watch Constantine, y'all.
I don't know if Anne can
talked
handle
about it.
Constantine.
Man, I think it's ultra cool. I mean, that opened my eyes to a lot of shit when I first saw that movie.
Yep.
Yeah, it was too bad that
it's Constantine is he's a psychic, and he basically fights demons and banishes them back to hell, and it's his
And they
battle.
don't follow the rules.
And he doesn't follow the rules, and he's got an ongoing battle with the angel Gabriel because he committed suicide when he was a young man, and he died. So therefore, he's going to hell when he dies, and he's continuously trying to cut a deal with Gabriel to get like come on, like I've done so much good, banishing all these demons and looking after the humans type thing. What's his name who plays the devil is fucking brilliant.
That Russian guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what guy she's talking about too, and I can't
Oh,
remember.
his name. I can hear his voice. He the creepiest, weirdest devil ever. So anyways, yeah, it's all about the devil and demons and Archangel Gabriel, who's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. And it's that girl playing that part, the one that we like, that she has the masculine look, the short hair,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
She played in the island.
Tilda Swindon.
Swindon. Yes.
Tilda Swindon.
And then when the movie opens up, it's like classic how, he uses the mirror to fucking draw him out. That's like.
It is. It's really good. It's a good movie.
Have you checked
It's
out
not
the
that
show?
scary. It's not really that scary. Like, it's really not. And it's not gruesome. Like, it's not like some of movies that are really, really gruesome. Speaking of gruesome.
A lot of demonic images too. A lot of demonic imaging.
Yeah. Because, that's the whole thing. It's the whole movie is about
His name
fighting
is
the demons.
Peter Stormare.
Yep.
Peter Stormare. All the acting in it is amazing. Everybody in it is awesome. And how he would access the other realms with his feet in water holding the fucking cat.
How do we go to hell? We put our feet in a bucket of water and we hold onto a cat.
And hold the fucking cat and stare at
Because
him.
cats are always half in and half out anyway.
Yeah, the window.
I just saw a meme today go by. Funny you should bring that up, Dawn, because I was going through 9gag because I was fucking brain dead. And it was a clip from Constantine the movie, and the person wrote it was like, anyone else besides me who says that we need a part 2 to this movie with Keanu Reeves playing it like as in like the next part 2? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. We've said for years, ever since it first came out, they should make us a part 2 to that movie. It was so good. I will put it on. I will put it in the poll. I will put it in the poll, and we'll let everyone vote.
While you're waiting for part 2, you can actually watch the show of that.
The show sucks. The show
and
sucks.
no. Yes.
Oh,
and
yes,
no.
they did. They destroyed the character of Constantine.
Yes, they
destroyed
kinda
his
did.
character. They destroyed the comic book. They destroyed the storyline. I watched the one season of Constantine, the TV show, and I was just I kept watching it like a train wreck, going, it's got to get better. It's got to get better. No, it just destroyed the character of Constantine. It was terrible.
Yes, but on some level, that British touch was kind of hilarious, even though they butchered the whole thing. But still, I mean, it has some interesting points, even though if it's like just B quality or maybe even C quality for some people. But still, there are some interesting things in there. Because lately I notice more of the B movies are actually better movies story-wise than the shit that comes out today, right? Like,
Yep.
Bad.
Yep. Okay, well, that's it, my darlings. I'm going to say goodnight to everyone on the live stream. Good night, everyone out on Twitch land. And Sunday night's the movie. And next Wednesday is the UnFuckIt discussion again. Bye, guys.